You're here at Center for Spiritual Living Bellingham, or you're watching online, and we are delighted that you are here with us this morning. And the band has a special song for us, so let's just see what they've got.
There was a time in my life I thought I'd have to do it all for myself. Didn't know the grace of God was sufficient. I didn't know the love of God was at hand. But now I can say, if you are discouraged, struggling just to make it through another day, you got to let it go. Let it all go. And this is what you have to say. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see a light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I release and I let go. Let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle. Faith, I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. Beautiful. Take a minute and greet somebody you haven't met yet.
Yay, Rana.
Okay. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. Place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting a message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. 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 All right, are there any kids here today who would like to join their teachers at the front to go out and have a lovely time? Partly outside, I don't know where else, but come on to the front. Okay.
There's kids. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Hooray for the world, I'm glad to be on it. Hooray for the world, I'm glad to be on it. Hooray for the world, it's a special place. We got Mother Nature and the human race. The world's got trees and bumblebees, rivers and lakes and the open seas, mountains and valleys and the animals too, and the sun that shines on me and you. Hooray for the world, I'm glad to be on it. Hooray for the world, I'm glad to be on it. Hooray for the world, it's a special place. We got Mother Nature and the human race. We got Mother Nature and the human race.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Susan Janzik, and I'm the practitioner of the day. And I'd like to welcome you. Leo's telling me to come up. Oh. Right behind here. Thank you all for being here this morning. And I'd like to let you know that there is a prayer vessel in the back that you can write a prayer. I'd also like to let you know that on our website, we have recorded about 36 different prayers with different topics. And you can go on our website. Thank you to Philip for being able to put it there. And anytime you feel inspired, you can come to morning prayer too at 7 a.m. So, yes, weekdays only. That's important. Thank you, Al. Now if you'll join me in knowing there is only one divine presence, one love, one light, one power, one beauty, one divine presence that is in and through all life and in and through my life. Remembering that I am one with the one, that is a wow moment. And I take that knowing into each and every step today as I remember that I am part of that one life, and all the things that go on in the world are a reflection of love and light, should we choose to look deeply into our hearts and know that love and light are the truth of our being. And today, I am so grateful for this teaching and grateful to be here with all of you. And I submit these words to the Creative, knowing that they are so, and so it is.
I breathe in, I breathe out, I take in, I give out. I let love. I let go. I release. I know. I forgive. I receive. I can feel. I believe. I am healed. I am whole. I release. I know. Breathe. 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 I breathe in. I breathe in. I breathe out. I breathe out. I take in. I take in. I give out. I give out. I let love. I let go. I release. I know. Forgive. I receive. I can feel. I believe. I am healed. I am whole. I release. I know. Breathe. 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 I breathe in. I breathe out. I take in. I give out. I let love. I let go. I release. I know. You are the heart, you are the hands, you are the voice of spirit on earth, and who you are and all you do is a blessing to the world. We are the heart, we are the hands, we are the voice of spirit on earth, and who we are and all we do is a blessing to the world. I am the heart, I am the hands, I am the voice of spirit on earth, and who I am and all I do is a blessing to the world. You are the heart, you are the hands, You are the voice of spirit on earth, and who you are and all you do is a blessing to the world, is a blessing to the world, is a blessing to the world.
I have to speak now. That was amazing. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Wow. Well, there it goes again. I was really overwhelmed by that. And as I was sitting here looking at you and thinking, you really are the heart and the hand. You really are the blessing to the world. We all know it needs it right now, right? So, I'm sorry, it's just going to take me a minute. Whew. I want to do a little experiment today, and I want us to pretend we're all Californians. So what we're going to do, yeah, we got some blondes, yeah, some used to be's. I was a birth blonde, if that counts. Oh dear, you know, I'm going to get in terrible trouble for all of that you guys just walked me into, but okay. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to repeat an affirmation out loud if you're comfortable doing that. One of the nice things about being a religious scientist is when we say do this, you have absolute freedom not to. You don't even have to stand up when people say stand up. But if you want to, and it feels right, try it. I am enough. How does that feel? Okay. Ooh, nice. Anybody a little uncomfortable? I couldn't have said that out loud when I first walked in these rooms. No way, Jose. I'm enough. I have a whole world out there. We have a whole world out there telling us we're not enough. We're not big enough. We're not short enough. We're not fat enough. We're not skinny enough. You know, everywhere you look, there's enough. We're not smart as somebody else. I don't have a big enough house. I don't have a small enough house. Enough, enough, enough. Well, enough. Yeah. See, when I've been playing with this word all week because this was the assigned talk from CSL because we're all speaking all across the world to the same topics at the same time, which is partly a way of synchronizing our consciousness around the same ideas to bring greater change and greater power to what we're doing. So I've been thinking about what in the world does enough mean? So I looked it up in the dictionary. Duh. Hadn't done that in a long time. It means as much or as many of something as required. I am as much and as many of something as is required. So are you. Think about that a minute. What does that mean even? As much or as many? You are as much as required to be you. Now, I don't know about you, but I always thought I was missing a whole lot of parts growing up. I was missing I'm definitely missing the book on how you're supposed to live because that one was just like a mystery to me. My dad died when I was really young, and right after he died, I realized that I was pretty much on my own. And I'm like, what do I do now? Well, I figured it out really quick because I was smart. I didn't know it at the time, but I was. I figured out that if I could just listen to the adults enough, figure out what they wanted and needed, and gave it to them, I'd be fine. And I was. I was so good, it was disgusting. My mom used to dress me up in little white suits to go to church on Sundays. We didn't have any grass in our yard. I could go out and play in that white suit and not get dirty before I would get to church, because I knew that folks in church liked that guy in the white suit. Now, was that because I knew something about myself that was of value? No, because I knew how to do an exchange. I figured out what I could get for something by being good. And I was so good. We won't go there. Anyway, it got really old real fast. And what I also had to do then was for all those other parts of me, those minis of being enough, they had to be hidden away and come out in sneaky ways, which some people don't even know all of that stuff yet. But I had a best friend, and we got in all kinds of trouble, but I always blamed him, so I still came out being good enough. I was good enough. One of the things that we often believe and do is come to this idea that if we do enough, we're okay. And so you do more work. We are the hardest working people in the world in this country. Hardest in terms of how long we work. I had a great time in Spain this year for about a month. And, those folks know how to do this work business. They take a break in the middle of the day and take a nap, those that want a nap, or they just go sit in a restaurant somewhere and drink coffee and talk to one another. And then they come back and reopen all the stores about 3 o'clock. And then they have dinner about 9 o'clock at night. And they don't eat breakfast because they're still full from the night before. Because they do open things. And every time, if grandma don't feel good today, everybody stays home. They don't open anything. You never know when a store you want to buy something is going to be open, because they may just decide not to. Can you imagine that in this country? Holy Moses. We have to work so hard and make sure we are doing enough. Because if we just do enough, we'll be enough. Maybe. But just like I know, that doesn't fill up that hole. That doesn't take care of it, because no matter how much you do, there's always more. It was never enough growing up. Never, ever enough. I used to blame my mom and other adults for that, but the truth is it wasn't about them. They were just telling the truth that they knew. I was the one going, I'm not enough. I got to do more. I got to be more. I was fortunate, though, because in that young years after my dad died, he had a conversion in a church that I won't name right now because I'm on the air. But I'll tell you, if we were in that church, none of these rows would be full. Everybody would be in the back half, because you don't want to get too much on you. Yeah. But because of his experience, I saw something there that absolutely transformed him. And he did not live much longer after that. But I saw that transformation and I said, there's something there for me. And it's not about how much I do or don't do, how good I am or bad I am, although there was some of that. There's something more to it. And there was this time in this moment where I really felt this sense of presence, this sense of something more. And I would get it whenever my mom always went to church Sunday night, because they did church all the time, and we'd go pick her up. I'd sometimes be staying with my uncle and be sitting outside, and it's all dark except for the bright windows coming through the church windows. And I felt like, oh man, there's something there. I could feel it. I felt the warmth. I felt the connection. Now, I've traveled a lot of miles since then. I'm not telling you all this because I want you to say, oh yeah, look at Bob. I'm telling you this because I'm hoping there's something in here resonating with you. That somewhere in your life, sometime or other, that message of there's more to this than just what I think I'm supposed to say or do or give. See, you're enough, not because of what you do, but because of who you are and what you are. The power to me of our teaching is we really hone in and recognize that. being oneness, and we talked about this last week, and I'll talk about it every time I'm up here probably, because it is a central message to what we teach, and that is that there is only one power, and you're it. Tom Johnson, one of the old timers, used to say, "So how many people are we got out here in the room?" And the audience will answer back, "One." How many people am I talking to? One. One power, one life, one. The power of oneness is showing up as you, and it's all of you. And it's everything around you. I mean, how do you really know I'm standing up here and you're sitting down there? Think about it. All we have to go by is our senses and our awareness. All we have to go by is our consciousness, which tells us this is all orchestrated. Whose consciousness is orchestrating it? Yours. We are all here for you. Even though it looks like we're all a bunch of different people. We are all here for you because we're all one power, one goodness, one community. That's not in my notes. I got lost. See, we are a center of wholeness. Part of knowing that you're enough is knowing that you are whole, perfect, and complete. Perfect word gives people a lot of trouble, right? Perfect, yeah, right. I try to do that. Perfection. We're not talking about perfectionism. We're talking about the fact that you are everything you should be and ought to be underneath and behind it all. That there's a divine energy within you, a divine consciousness within you that you live within. And it is absolutely right and okay as you, because it's showing up as you through your particular likes and dislikes and wants and not wants. You are enough all the way through. Nothing missing, nothing broken. We'll be working a lot over the next few weeks and months with this idea of wholeness. Nothing broken, nothing missing. I was sitting up here chit-chatting and just realizing, watching you guys before we started, you are a community. And you're a community built with by and participated in a wonderful spiritual leader, but you've outgrown that moment. You guys are a community regardless. Whether you got me or somebody else or nobody else up here, you're going to be fine. I just get to be the joyride to watch you do that and participate and try not to mess it up. Mm-hmm. Which leads me to our next affirmation. Look at the person next to you or somebody around you and say, "You are enough." Okay. Stop. You're taking up too much of my time. Stop. Enough. That is enough. Right. Now, if you're sitting next to your spouse, remember this moment. For those moments whenever you may not think the other one is enough. But that's just because we get all mixed up about where the power is. We think they've got the power to make us better. They don't, not even your spouse. The power to make you better is you. The power of spirit, life, and God moving up through you. I know the G word's not real popular. I try not to use it, but I can't help it. And I'm not talking about a God out there that shines down and throws lightning bolts. I'm talking about the power and energy of life itself that moves through us. That's what I mean by the G word. Yeah. So you're enough. I want to share something with you from our spiritual leader for this organization. And I want you to listen to this with your spirit ears, with your heart. Because this is something very close to my heart. This can be totally misinterpreted and turned into something political. It's not. This is about the heart. This is about looking at your neighbor, whoever they are, wherever they are, and saying, "You are enough." Spirit has created you in the beauty and power and oneness of who you are. At Centers for Spiritual Living, we stand firmly in the truth that all people are divine expressions of spirit, whole, perfect, and in their authenticity. All people. That means me too, and that means you. with all of my warts, all of my whatevers. I want to skip the little piece that's political. Keep going. In alignment with our core teachings, we affirm a world that works for everyone, a world where all are free to be who they are, to express their truth, and to thrive in safety and joy, including transgender people, people of all varieties. We call upon spiritual community are all right. We always welcome the person who looks at the world as their friend and loves it. Science of mind, somewhere. Love. Come on, we love each other around here. I haven't been in a community in a long time where it was so clear and so easily recognizable as it is here. So I'm grateful to be part of this. I want to leave you with one more story. You may have heard it. If you have, don't tell the person next to you. It's written as a factual story. I don't know if it's factual or not, but it's a mythic story for me about who I am and who you are, each one individually, as well as us as a group. About 1954, in China, they were in the process of building a big highway, and it was going right through the corner of what had at one time been a monastery, but was still being maintained as a kind of museum. And there were a few priests allowed to be there. And right where the road was going was a big clay Buddha. And they had to move the Buddha. The Buddha was bigger than me. It's big. So they made arrangements, but construction being what construction is, they delayed a little bit and they didn't quite get the Buddha moved before the monsoons hit, before the heavy rains hit. But they wrapped it up in a tarp very tightly, and covered it all up, put ropes on it, lifted it with a crane, moved it over, and put it down in its new home. Except when they put it down, it cracked. So the rains came pouring down. During the night, one of the caretakers was really concerned about it because it was pouring rain so hard. So he took a light, went out, lifted up the tarp, and was looking to make sure it wasn't getting wet. It was not. But he saw a little glint of some light flashing back at him. And he's like, what? So he got another light and he pulled the tarp back a little further and he's kind of poked around in the crack and chipped out a little bit of clay, and it looked like something really shiny underneath. And he chipped away, and by morning he had cleared out a big chunk of the Buddha. It was clay, and underneath it was solid gold. See, 200 years or several hundred years before that, during the big Buddhist wars of the 12th and 13th centuries, when warring factions came in and tried to steal each other's stuff, they were about to be attacked, so the priests covered the whole thing in clay and then forgot about it. It was lost over the years that went by. You're like that. I'm like that. Underneath all this clay, all of this parts of me that can act out and be rude and be unkind and do all those things, there's gold. There's solid gold. At our hearts, at our centers, at our true beingness, that's where we are. The only problem is sometimes we forget it. What this teaching does, and what coming into a community like this does, is it slowly starts to chip away and break open those cracks. And we start to shine through our cracks. And we start to shine further and further through, which is why sometimes you have to really bang it up against something and get hurt to find out how absolutely brilliant you really are. You have to be a kid without a dad for a while to find out what you're made of, or whatever your particular path may be. But whatever it is the right path for you, and you have everything you need to walk it with dignity, with pride, and with a whole lot of joy, if you let yourself, because you're wonderful, and so am I, and so it is. Thank you. So let's take a minute and let's go within. There's really nowhere to go. It's just turning our attention to the truth within us, to the place within us where light and life is absolutely unfolding in our perfection. Allow yourself simply to imagine dropping in dropping into that space of gold. You may see it as a golden light that surrounds you, fills your heart. And as you see that golden light, as you open up to it, imagine that as you're immersed in that golden light, everything about you turns gold. Your golden loving, your care, your self-worth, your sense of what matters, all of it turns gold. Rich beyond measure. Attention that you give to wherever you put it is valued past any numbers you can put on it. Imagine yourself being discovered. Imagine discovering within yourself that which you didn't yet know. And in that imagining, we know the one power that provides and gives all there is to give of itself, which is life itself, moving through each of us is doing so with our own individual desires, our dreams, our wishes, and it's just saying, yes, okay, you got it. You're enough. So whatever challenge may seem to be facing right now, just bathe it in gold, paint it gold, and watch it transform. Because we are enough. We're enough for this time, this place, this lifetime, and we celebrate that. With gratitude, deep gratitude, so glad to be alive and on the planet right here, right now. So glad to be part of the amazing transformation that's taking place. And in that gratitude, I can release this treatment, knowing this work is complete and done for this moment, though there may be much more to come. Letting that be so. And so it is. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Bob. I realized I didn't introduce myself earlier, so I'm Cindy Clay, and I'm a prayer practitioner here. So now you know. And I invite you now, we're going to do the offering. So I invite you to share what you feel called to share this morning. We receive all your gifts with such gratitude. And whether you're putting it in the basket this morning or you're on autopilot and it just gets paid without you paying any attention at all, just know that it's all received with great gratitude and great love because we are the community. This is what we are doing together. Thank you for being part of it.
All we can do is be there for each other in these times when we don't know what to do. All we can do is be there for each other and help each other through. All we can do is be there for each other these times when we don't know what to do. All we can do is be there for each other and help each other through. Twists and turns, expected, day by day being on. I don't have all the answers, come what may, right or wrong. All we can do is be there for each other. These times when we don't know what to do. All we can do is be there for each other and help each other through. Crashing waves touch the shore. Time moves faster every day. Ebb and flow, no control. All that's left to say. All we can do is be there for each other in these times when we don't know what to do. All we can do is be there for each other and help each other through. And help each other through. Help each other.
Ronna Biggs is going to give us an update.
Hello. Good morning, everyone. My name is Ronna Biggs, and I'm a practitioner here and also an adjunct board member. And we did not do a first Sunday update about the senior minister transition process last week, so we were kind of holding on a little bit to get more information. So I'm excited to be able to give a report this week a little bit more. So our interim minister, Dr. Bob, has been stepping into the leadership process with a full heart and a full schedule. And we are in the middle of a 2-workshop series that Dr. Bob is leading. So last week was an old story, new story workshop, and there were close to 50 people here, and it was a really lovely experience. Just as Dr. Bob mentioned, really honest conversation. We did some individual reflection, some small group sharing, and then some large group sharing and reporting out. And a lot of that information, those thoughts, it was captured. And so Dr. Bob will have that information to help process. And so today is part 2 of that workshop series, and it's really about reimagining the new and making space for the new. And if you haven't signed up, that's okay. Please still attend. If you didn't attend last week and want to attend, please do. So many voices are appreciated in that sense of shared consciousness. So we'll start about noon, and that again will go for about an hour and a half today. Plenty of time before the Super Bowl. Sorry, it's 2 hours today. We're 2 hours today. Thank you. Still plenty of time before the Super Bowl. It's fine. It's all good. So looking ahead, we do have a really positive turn of events, and this is a little bit of that delay we were hoping for. So you might remember part of the process that is coming up in some next steps is to think about a co-creation process with the large community, shifting our focus towards doing that visioning work specifically around the new minister. So this is really about our own consciousness now and the reflection piece and where we are and letting some of that go and shifting that transition. So there was some introduction of some potential outside facilitators that the transition team was exploring, and some things with scheduling just wasn't locking in very well. Some things with timing of when we were hoping to keep moving forward wasn't working out very well. And there was going to be a pretty significant extra cost of bringing in another outside facilitator, which didn't feel very well. And so Dr. Bob had a lot of personal reflection and time to consider that, and worked with Home Office to do a different proposal, which is for Dr. Bob to lead this process for us. And hooray! So the wonderful thing about that is it helps to alleviate a lot of those scheduling pieces, those timing pieces, and a lot of that extra cost. And so Dr. Bob is going to offer a modified but very similar process that will have some similar outcomes and help shift us to that place with that co-creation and next step visioning process. So we're going to have a little bit more information about that as Dr. Bob gets that settled. One thing you should know is to think ahead to March and think about the second and third Sundays in March as particular ones to save the date for here. So that second Sunday, Dr. Bob's going to shift his time with us to be over that second and third Sunday. The second, if I'm correct still, things are happening. So that second Sunday, we're going to have that larger community co-creation visioning process. So please attend that if you're at all able and stay for that Sunday. The third Sunday is actually our annual general meeting. And so during that week in between, Dr. Bob's going to do a smaller leadership focus group that would have been similar to what an outside facilitator would have done. And Dr. Bob will work with that smaller leadership group during the week. And then on that next Sunday during the annual general meeting, be able to share the results of the whole process and be able to report in during our annual general meeting. So it's really lovely because those are some naturally larger gathering times for us. And if you can do those save the dates, we'll get some more information out as we go. And then I will trust Dr. Bob to let me know or let us know if there's anything more that I've missed along the way. But I thank you. And really, it is a bit revolutionary for Dr. Bob to be the person to do a little test pilot with us about leading the process. So gratitude for that. And we're still getting a fantastic facilitator and highly skilled minister to support this process. So grateful for that. And thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, Rana. All right, I got some other announcements. We had to cancel the Spirit at Work breakfast this last week because of the ice and snow. And the good news is we're going to do it on Wednesday, this Wednesday. So if you didn't sign up, you can still sign up because it hasn't happened yet. The bad news is Dr. Bob isn't in town. So I'm going to speak. And we're going to talk about putting more love into your business. So if you already registered last week, we'll transfer your registration to this week. And if you don't like that, you better let us know. Okay, let's talk about the nominating committee. So if you have any interest in serving on the Board of Trustees, if you like to be in the know about what's happening and help influence things, this is the place to be. You can talk with a representative in the classroom on Sunday, February 9th and February 16th, and they can answer all your questions about what it means to serve on the board. And the Care Cookie Dough Making Party is on Monday, February 17th in the kitchen, 2 p.m. You can come make the dough. You can volunteer to bake the dough, but if that is calling you to help out with folks that are unhoused, that is coming up for you to participate in. And women's group is Sunday, February 16th. That's next week, noon here in the sanctuary. And men's group is in the classroom, same day at noon. And community singing circle is on February 16th. If you love to sing, you don't have to have a good voice. You just like to love to sing. Don't worry about that. That's a wonderful time to share with people. And then the last thing I just want to point out here is that we are launching a monthly grief support group the fourth Sunday of the month from noon to 1:30. That's a time to process what you might be going through and grieving a loss in your life with other people who can support you. So please do take advantage of all these opportunities. And I just want you to notice how fast the announcements were done today. So the last thing I want to say is that we love you and we want you to leave right after the service. So because we have to set up for the workshop. So scoot to the classroom and have coffee and food and clear out so we can set up. All right.
I can feel the power of love inside me. Feel the power of love. I can see the surround me. We are the power of love. And my eyes are open to the truth I now embrace. And my heart is open, my spirit and my grace. Feel the power of love inside me. Feel the power of love. I can see the evidence around me. Feel the power of love. And my eyes are open to the truth I now embrace. And my heart is open, my spirit and my grace. We are the power of love. 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 Have a great week, everybody.
2, 3, 4. I tried to speed it up.